Chosen ones, listen carefully. When the universe singles you out, resistance doesn't wait for an invitation. It jumps straight into conflict. You felt it. The sudden storms of chaos that rise without warning. The people who seemed supportive yesterday now stirring drama today. The inexplicable exhaustion that drapes over your spirit when you most need clarity. You wondered if you were losing your mind, if your purpose was crumbling beneath the weight of relentless distractions. I see you. I've been there too, watching blessing knock at the door, while unseen hands rattle the handle to keep you from opening it. But what if I told you this chaos is not random, but a signal? Your breakthrough stands on the brink, and they're scrambling to block it. If this message already speaks to your soul, subscribe, like this video, and comment 77 below. Stay with me, because hidden truths about your destiny are about to be unveiled, and once you know them, nothing can stop your rise. Spiritual interference isn't coincidence. Have you ever wondered why every time you sense your spirit rising, a storm breaks out in your life? Perhaps you notice a sudden flurry of conflicts, a harsh email from a colleague out of blue, a relationship drama erupting just as you were gaining momentum, or that nagging doubt that hijacks your thoughts right before you step into your calling. You are not imagining it. This orchestration of chaos, these well-timed emotional avalanches, are not random as fires of fate, but deliberate interferences aimed squarely at derailing your destiny. When your heart opens to possibility, they flood your mind with fear. When your vision sharpens, they shatter your focus with distraction. In those moments, you feel the weight of confusion pressing you down, as if the world itself conspires to keep you from your breakthrough. Have you ever paused and asked, why now? You remember the last time everything aligned. Your ideas felt alive, your prayers seemed to echo back with promise, and clarity lit your path. Then, without warning, you were blindsided by an argument that left you questioning your worth, or pulled into a web of conflicting opinions that drained your energy. Those were not mere coincidences. In your quietest hours, you sensed a deeper battle unfolding, one where your commitment to purpose painted a target on your back. You felt in the tightness of your chest, the restless nights, the creeping sense that forces beyond sight were manipulating events. It hurt. It isolated you. It made you doubt whether your calling was worth the torment. Yet every soul chosen for purpose has endured this trial. You are not alone in this sacred struggle. Then came the whisper in your spirit, a revelation that your suffering was part of a grander design, an unseen tapestry woven with both light and shadow. In the seldom quoted prophecy of Habakkuk 3 verse 19 we read, "The Lord God is my strength. He makes my feet like the deer's. He makes me tread on my high places." This verse reminds us that elevation follows endurance. The very chaos meant to trip you up is preparing you to move across heights you could never traverse without the fortifying of your resolve. Each drama, every emotional jab, was never random but a forging fire to prepare you for high places. Your confusion, your tears, your moment of desperation, they sculpted within you resilience needed to stand firm when the light of purpose finally beams upon you. Now look around and witness the first tremors of transformation breaking through the turmoil. Where once you cowered under doubt, now you feel a spark of unwavering conviction igniting in your soul. You catch yourself pausing mid-conflict, choosing grace over reaction. Opportunities that seemed lost reemerge in pristine form. An unexpected ally steps forward just as you question whether you can continue the fight. Your dreams, once eclipsed by discouragement, pulse with renewed clarity, offering vivid glimpses of the path ahead. These signs are not fleeting illusions. They are the footprints of divine timing aligning your steps. Notice how the chaos subsides whenever you stand in faith. Your focus becomes a magnet for breakthrough. Beyond what the eye can see, spiritual currents course through every clash and setback, dismantling the barriers that stood between you and your destiny. Every prayer raised in the turbulence set ripples across unseen realms, summoning interventions that shifted the tide in your favor. In the overlooked account of 2 Kings 6 verse 17, Elisha's servant panicked to the enemy army surrounding them, but the prophet prays, "Open his eyes, Lord, so that he may see." When his eyes are opened, the hills were filled with horses and chariots of fire protecting them. Likewise, your faith in the midst of interference summons your own host of heavenly allies. The storms you face were never meant to break you, but to call forth the legions waiting to guard your advancement. At this pivotal juncture, the choice is laid before you, to recoil in fear or to step forward in faith. Many shrink back, fearing that exposing their purpose will invite even greater attacks. They cling to familiar patterns of delay, rather than embrace the new reality emerging from the chaos. But true alignment demands that you not only see these spiritual interferences, but boldly affirm your authority over them. This is your sacred mirror moment. Stand before yourself and speak the words your soul longs to hear. I am chosen. My path is divinely secured. Let that declaration resonate through every doubt, every distraction, and every scheme aimed at silencing your light. Feel the surge of courage rising in your chest as you claim your victory over distraction. Release the last tendrils of hesitation and step into the fullness of your calling. Let your next move be one of unwavering focus. Set aside time each day to cultivate inner stillness. Declare your purpose aloud and take tangible action toward your vision, no matter how small. Surround yourself with reminders of your resilience, whether through scripture that speaks to your heart or spiritual friendships that uplift your spirit. Each deliberate choice reaffirms that you are the master of your attention and the captain of your destiny. The chaos around you is not a sign of defeat, but a herald of your imminent triumph. They engineered every interference to block your rise, but each scheme only sharpened your resolve and revealed the power within you. Stand now, anchor in the truth that your breakthrough outweighs their distractions. Your purpose is too vital, your calling too fierce, and your light far too brilliant to be dimmed by any opposition. Comment intercepted if you refuse to let interference dictate your destiny, and prepare to walk unshaken into fulfillment of your soul's highest moment. Special thanks to our dedicated members who stand firm in every season. And if you feel called to go even deeper, there's a sacred space reserved for our community, a private room where you receive full prophetic messages daily. Join our private membership through the link in the description and walk this path with us. Focus is the real battleground. When your mind feels like a battlefield, every thought becomes a skirmish, and every distraction a silent strike against your destiny. You've sat at your desk with deadlines looming, only to find yourself lost in endless scrolls of comparison as you've lain awake at night, replaying old conversations, wondering if you'll ever break free of mental loops that drag you deeper into doubt. In these moments, the weight of scattered attention presses heavy on your chest, making you question whether your soul even remembers its purpose. Yet in the stillness of that inner war, there lies a whisper that beckons you to remember. Concentration is not a luxury. It is a crucible in which your future is forged. You are not alone in this struggle. Millions of silent warriors wage the same conflict each day, seeking to claim their focus as sacred ground. Soon, you'll uncover how the forces aligned against you are counting on your mind to splinter, and why your unwavering gaze will dismantle their carefully laid ambushes. Have you ever felt the sting of shame when you catch yourself debating with your own thoughts over the tiniest issue? Perhaps you replay that one snide remark from a colleague until it blurs your confidence. Maybe you've agonized over social media debates so long that your creative projects gather dust, your dreams silenced by the echo of trivial noise. This is the emotional weight you carry when attention slips through your fingers like sand. I remember the first time I watched a friend, brimming with potential, wilt under the glare of endless notifications. She was a storyteller at heart, yet her mind fractured into 1,000 fleeting demands. Each ping, each red badge, each shouting headline carved away at her resolve. You know this ache, this frustration of wanting to move forward while your mind is trapped in a maze of distraction. It's the silent thief that steals your most precious resource, clarity. In the midst of this chaos, there is purpose. What feels like a cruel test of endurance is in truth a sacred preparation for your greatest ascent. In Zechariah 4 verse 10 we encounter a cryptic encouragement. Who despises the day of small things? Here lies a lesson that every moment of focused discipline, no matter how minor it seems, is building the foundation for monumental breakthroughs. Those tiny victories, turning off your phone for an hour, redirecting a wandering thought back to your true priorities, are the stones laid by divine hands. They align you with an unseen current that carries you beyond the pull of every frivolous demand. Your struggle to guard your mind is not an accident. It is the forging ground where your dedication is tempered, preparing you to wield your attention as a weapon of light. Now, look for the signs of transformation emerging in your life. It might first appear as a sudden clarity at dawn, the kind that whispers solutions to problems you've wrestled with for weeks. You might notice how small coincidences, crossing paths with men at exactly the right time, stumbling upon a book that speaks directly to your doubt, begin to cluster around you like constellations mapping your journey. You catch yourself completing tasks with a new ease, as if some invisible current smooths away. These subtle shifts are not random. They are the gentle breeze before the storm of your destiny. Others may dismiss these moments as lucky breaks, but you know better. Each alignment of circumstance is a divine nod, an invitation to lean into the stream of unfolding revelation behind the curtain of your everyday life. Higher forces are recalibrating the cosmos in your favor. What look like obstacles, deadlines piling up, relationships fraying, sudden financial pressures, were never meant to break you. They were cosmic markers signaling that it's time to ascend. Imagine a celestial map being drawn in the sky, each star and nebula positioned precisely to guide your next step. Think of your challenges as sealed scrolls, now being unrolled by angelic hands, so the words of your purpose can finally come into view. Synchronicities and divine nudges are the silent architects at work, relocating people, events, and opportunities so that every forward move you make is underwritten by grace. Faith becomes a living, breathing covenant with manifestation itself, a promise that what you dare to focus on will take shape. This is your moment of self-realization. To see that resisting change is to deny the invitation of your own soul. Many shrink back when faced with the unknown, clinging to familiar anxieties because they feel safer than transformation. But the soul that says yes to divine alignment steps into an orbit of power. Picture yourself standing before a mirror that reflects not your doubts, but your potential, a reflection that radiates every ambition you once buried under the debris of distraction. In this sacred instant, you must embrace the fullness of who you are becoming. Speak your commitment aloud. I choose focus. I choose clarity. I choose the path laid before me. Let that affirmation echo through your being and fracture the last chains of hesitation. Now, rise from the ashes of divided attention and claim your inner authority. Release the haunting doubts that whisper you're not ready, that you're not worthy, that your vision is too grand. Instead, affirm your identity as a chosen warrior of purpose, entrusted with a unique flame that no force can extinguish. Start by setting one clear intention today, whether it's dedicating 30 minutes to undisturbed creative work, meditating on a sacred verse, or simply closing every unnecessary browser tab. Treat this moment as a declaration, a war against distraction. Each step you take to protect your mental sanctuary is a victory in the grand campaign of your soul. Let every heartbeat be a drum that rallies you toward your next leap of faith. As you feel the tide of divine alignment strengthen within your spirit, carry this message into your every breath. Your mind, once a fractured battlefield, can become the throne room of your highest calling. The noise outside may roar, but your inner stillness holds sovereign power. Remember, focus is the real battleground. Win here, and you win everywhere else. Comment focused if this resonates with you, and stand firm in the knowledge that your soul's clarity is the compass guiding you to triumph. And to every soul who supported with a super thanks, thank you. You are keeping this light alive for others who haven't found it yet. If you feel called to help this mission reach more chosen ones, tap the super thanks button below. Your energy supports these messages and helps them travel further. Your voice matters. Your belief matters. And your light is felt here. Your glow exposes their shadows. When the light inside you begins to flicker with a newfound brilliance, you may first notice a tremor in the glass facades around you. That friend who once laughed at your jokes now shifts uncomfortably when you speak of your dreams. That colleague who praised your ideas yesterday seems cold today, avoiding your gaze as if afraid of being illuminated by your conviction. You wonder if you imagined it, but the sting of their withdrawal is as real as the pulse in your veins. In these moments, your heart pounds with confusion and pain, yet beneath it all, a quiet thrill thrums through your spirit. Your glow has become too bright for them to ignore. You are stepping into a space that was always yours, even if it means the people you trusted must step away. The world you knew cracks at the edges, and in the widening crevices, you glimpse a landscape shaped by your own emerging power. They cannot bear to see you ascend, because your light shines too close to the truth they fear. Have you ever paused mid-conversation and sensed a sudden chill, a weight where warmth once lived? It might come as a cutting remark disguised as a concern, or gossip that drips like acid on your reputation. Perhaps you found yourself replaying a simple act of kindness, wondering why it drew such a venomous response. This is more than petty jealousy. It is a calculated reaction to your radiance. When you share your vision, they feel exposed. Their half-formed schemes and false promises shrink under the glow of your authenticity. You've been there, replaying that moment when a trusted ally's smile faltered, as though your very presence threatened to burst their comfortable illusion. The hurt runs deep, echoing in those silent hours when you question whether your gift is worth the cost. Yet this pain is more than a wound. It is a clearer sign that your inner fire cannot be doused by anyone's shadow. Still, what you're facing is not punishment. It is preparation. Look to the lesser-known tale of Huldah the prophetess in 2 Kings 22 verses 14 to 20, whose word reshaped a nation's destiny. She spoke truth in a court thick with denial, and those who heard her were forced to confront what they had buried. In that same spirit, your brilliance exposes hidden alliances that thrive in darkness. Each betrayal you encounter is a chapter in a divine plot, a necessary unveiling of who and what truly stand with you. Your journey mirrors her courage, for standing in the full blaze of your calling demands the willingness to name what must fall away. The betrayal of false friends is but a scene in the grand narrative of your emergence, a signal that the path ahead is reserved for those who embrace the purity of your vision. Now pay attention to how your world shifts as a result. You may notice doors closing quietly so that grander portals can open. Perhaps an invitation you expected never arrives, only for you to discover a more profound opportunity waiting beyond the horizon. You find yourself drawn to people who work quietly, steadfast in their support, rather than those with loud praise but hollow hearts. Your own sense of timing becomes uncanny, knowing when to speak, when to stay silent, and when to walk away from a conversation that would cost you your peace. These shifts are the universe's way of guiding you toward alliances forged in light, not in the shadows. You are learning to trust that every withdrawal, every sudden rift, is choreographed to conserve your energy for what truly matters. Behind the scenes, unseen hands are cataloging each moment of sacrifice you've made for authenticity's sake. Think of your journey as an ancient tapestry being woven. Every thread of hurt, every severed bond, is integrated into a larger design that only reveals itself to the patient eye. Guardian spirits, ancestral echoes, and divine architects conspire on your behalf, redirecting false allies away so that genuine companions may take their place. The celestial map of your life, once obscured by the smoke of misdirection, now glows with constellations of purpose. Each betrayal becomes a waypoint, a marker lit by angelic insight, guiding you closer to fulfillment of your destiny. This is not a cold cosmic experiment, but a gesture of profound love. Your isolation is a stage on which your sovereignty will be proclaimed. In realigning with this truth, you stand at a threshold of self-realization. Imagine looking into a polished obsidian mirror at midnight, staring back at a version of yourself who is unafraid of solitude. Here, in this reflective stillness, you see that isolation is not a void but a crucible where your vision crystallizes. The fear that once lurked at the corners of your mind fades as you speak, aloud your commitment. I am the light they cannot shadow. In this intimate moment, you claim the right to your own frequency, unmediated by the faint hearts who once stood beside you. Accepting this profound shift requires courage, for to embrace sacred solitude is to profess allegiance to your own soul above all else. And now, dear seeker, rise, release the old narratives that told you worth depended on the company you kept. Embrace the power that courses through your veins, the same power that unsettles the unsteady, the same force that sends ripples to the unseen realms. Your first step is simple. Breathe deeply and set clear boundaries, refusing to engage with anyone who diminishes your shine. Next, honor your solitude. Carve out time each day to immerse yourself in practices that amplify your frequency, whether that be prayer, art, meditation, or silent reflection. Each ritual is a banner you plant on the ground you are reclaiming from doubt. Let your heart drum the anthem of your resurrection, a beat that calls the genuine into your circle and repels those who would drain you. You'll watch imposters recoil at your ascent, and you have felt the sting of their panic. But this is your ascension, and no shadow can dim what is ordained by the divine. Your glow is not a flaw, but your greatest gift, a beacon that carves light into the darkness of others' illusions. Stand unwavering in this knowing. Comment exposed if you recognize how your inner light has beckoned the hidden to flee, and let this revelation embolden you for the sacred isolation and profound communion that awaits beyond. Isolation is divine strategy, not punishment. When the world turns its back and you find yourself standing alone in an empty room, you may feel abandoned, as if everyone you trust has slipped through your fingers like sand. But what if the solitude is not a cruel exile, but a sacred preparation? In these hushed moments, when no applause greets your footsteps, your soul has room to breathe and expand. The noise of others' agendas, their judgments, their demands, their attempts to sway you, falls away, revealing a deeper frequency that has been waiting for your attention. You are not forsaken. You are being beckoned into a consecrated space where the echoes of your true purpose can finally resound. Stay with me now as we journey into the quiet sanctuaries where your clarity is forged and your higher vision takes shape. Have you ever felt the sting of betrayal only to discover that the loudest voices in your life were never meant to guide you? Perhaps it was a critique whispered behind closed doors, or a sudden withdrawal of support just when you needed it most. The pain of those moments can settle in your chest like a cold stone, making you question your worth and your path. Yet in that heaviness lies a hidden gift, an invitation to disengage from every false narrative that has tethered you to doubt. When you retreat from the cacophony of half-truths, you begin to sense the steady pulse of your own intuition. You remember the dreams you once buried, the visions you once chalked up to fantasy. In that raw, unguarded space, you discover the strength to confront the parts of yourself you've long ignored. This turning point, though terrifying, is ordained. Consider the lesser-known glimpse of Elijah's exile in 1 Kings 19 verses 11 to 13, where the prophet stands on a mountain, awaiting a thunderous sign of God's presence. Instead of finding in the wind, the earthquake, or the fire, Elijah encounters the divine in a soft whisper. In that moment of profound stillness, his heart is filled not with fear, but with renewed purpose. Your own isolation mirrors this sacred drama. The absence of drama, the lack of spectacle, is precisely where your spirit will be refueled. The very fact that you feel alone signals that the next great shift is imminent. You are being prepared for a whisper that will ignite the roar of your destiny. Now, turn your gaze inward and observe the subtle stirrings of transformation taking root in your solitude. Perhaps you awaken before dawn, drawn to an inner altar where words flow effortlessly onto a page. Or you catch yourself pausing amidst the day's tasks, noticing that decisions come with surprising ease, as though you stepped into a current that guides you without effort. You may find that old fears no longer pull you into their familiar orbit. Instead, a quiet confidence unfurls within your chest, steady as a mountain. Even the world around you seems to shift. Obstacles appear smaller, distractions lose their grip, and the right opportunities present themselves without fanfare. These signs are the unmistakable fingerprints of divine timing, aligning your environment with the hidden architecture of your calling. Behind the veil of your everyday struggles, unseen hands are orchestrating this profound realignment. Imagine your life as an ancient tapestry, each thread and color woven with precision by a master artisan. The moments that felt like dead ends, the sudden layoffs, the friendships that dissolved, the projects that fell apart, were not failures but recalibrations, threads pulled aside to make room for stronger, more vibrant strands. Spiritual forces, like patient librarians of fate, are reshuffling your story, placing key chapters in the right sequence. Every act of solitude, every rejection, every quiet tear has been cataloged as evidence of your readiness. Faith and manifestation intertwine here, as the more you trust this process, the more the tapestry reveals a design far greater than you could have sketched on your own. In this profound juncture, you stand before a spiritual mirror, beckoned to recognize your own becoming. Many recoil at this glimpse of their potential, fearing the unknown that rises alongside growth. Yet true alignment demands that you not only see the signs, but step into them without hesitation. Speak your acceptance aloud. I embrace this sacred solitude. I welcome clarity it brings. Let your voice pierce the hush, affirming that you choose a path of unveiling over the comfort of concealment. This is your covenant moment, where the soul consents to its own metamorphosis. Do not shy away. Lean into the light that filters through your inner doorway, for it carries a blueprint of all that you are destined to become. Having claimed this interior promise, rise now with the momentum of a soul set free. Release the last tendrils of doubt, the stale anxieties that once clung to your thoughts like cobwebs. Declare your sovereignty. You will no longer allow others' limitations to define your horizon. Begin with a simple ritual. Light a candle, journal the revelations that emerge in your quiet hours, or walk barefoot on the earth to feel the pulse of creation beneath your feet. Each act is a proclamation of your commitment to this deeper path. Reach out to kindred spirits who honor your solitude and can hold space for your unfolding. Let your daily choices reflect the wisdom you have gleaned in silence, and watch how the world reorganizes itself around your newfound resolve. In the end, you will discover that isolation was never a punishment, but a divine strategy to ensure your legacy. Like the rarest diamonds forged under crushing weight, your purpose has been refined by the crucible of solitude. The very moments that felt like abandonment were the deliberate steps in your elevation. As you emerge from the sacred withdrawal, your vision will be sharper, your voice more resonant, and your impact undeniable. Comment elevated if you recognize how your solitude has been a proving ground for your true purpose, and carry this revelation into every breath. In the next segment, we will explore how protecting this refined clarity becomes a shield that guards your breakthrough. As the dust of countless distractions settles and your heart stills in the aftermath, you may feel the tremor of something stirring deep within you. Perhaps you sense a vibration beneath the surface of your consciousness, a subtle pull toward a truth that has long been whispered in the corridors of your soul. You've endured the sting of every interruption, from the barrage of trivial news to the relentless ping of social media, each one a calculated attempt to fracture your attention. You are not alone in feeling the weight of these assaults, nor are you powerless against them. In the next few moments, you will discover how each fragment of chaos served as a signal flare, guiding you toward a higher purpose and preparing you for the greatest breakthrough of your life. Imagine the ache in your chest when, mid-task, your thoughts are hijacked by doubt or comparison. Recall the frustration of starting a project only to watch your mind stray into old regrets or future anxieties. Perhaps you've sat in the silence of your room, trying to anchor your focus, only to find your energy siphoned away by a colleague's drama or a friend's urgent demands. This exhaustion is not a sign of weakness, but evidence of the battlefield you occupy. Every mental tug-of-war, every restless night spent replaying conversations, has been an intentional distraction aimed at diluting your resolve. Yet, beneath that exhaustion lies the ember of your destiny, waiting to ignite with the ferocity of 1,000 suns. It is here, in the crucible of your scattered thoughts, that divine strategy begins its work. The prophet Habakkuk once grappled with the chaos of his day, crying out for understanding amid turmoil. In Habakkuk 2 verses 2-3, he's told to write the vision, make it plain upon tablets, that he may run who reads it, reminding us that clarity of purpose emerges from the very depths of confusion. Your moment of distraction is not random. It is the swift breath before sacred exhale. Just as Habakkuk was guided to crystallize his vision, you are being ushered toward a moment when your focus will take shape as a living testament to your calling. Now, look for the gestures of transformation weaving their way into your daily rhythm. You might catch yourself completing tasks with unexpected ease, as if an unseen current propels you forward. A conversation that once left you drained now ends with a spark of inspiration. You notice that the right people appear at the precise moment you need counsel or collaboration, and that long-standing obstacles dissolve almost overnight. These are not coincidences, but signposts etched by divine timing. Your purpose isn't on pause, it's on the edge of fulfillment. Subscribe if you haven't yet, like this video, and comment, "I am chosen," to let this message anchor in your soul. Share it with someone who needs to hear this. A quick thank you to all supporting members for fueling this mission. 4 full prophetic revelations daily. Join the membership via the link in the description. Your spiritual path deserves more than fragments. Step into the full light, and if this message moved you deeply, Consider tapping the Super Thanks button to support the mission. Every Super Thanks fuels the light we're spreading together. Close with this. They may plot against you, but you're too divinely built to fall.